that.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we get started? I'll call the meeting to order, and it is 4 minutes after 7. We don't have any alternates, so we don't have to worry about that. Are there any additions or changes in the order of the agenda? And Mary
Yeah.
Kay says yes, and Savannah probably says yes.
Yep.
You want to tell them what it is?
I'll go first. So there are 2 items under old business, 8.3 and 8.4, that should be new business.
Yeah.
And
I got
then
that marked
the
down.
application for 3 Sunny Slope Road, it's the last item on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
under
oh.
consideration tonight. It'll probably come
Okay.
in later.
Very good. Okay, so other than those 2 things, do we have any communications or correspondence that we need to talk about? No? Okay, if not, we'll go on. Um, we did get a copy of the spring 2025 habitat, and I read parts of it, and it's very interesting. So thank you for sending that to all of us, Mary Kay.
Sure.
And we shall continue here. All right. So we need to approve some meeting minutes, and the first one is item 6.1, the regular meeting minutes of June 2nd, 2025. Do I hear a motion to approve it?
I can move that.
Okay, second.
Second,
Okay, Mary seconded it. All in favor, raise your hand. So moved. And the second one is our special meeting minutes, a site walk of June 26th in 2025. Do I hear a motion to accept those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, John,
I'll
and
second it.
Ron seconded it. All in favor, raise your hand.
I'm going to
So-
abstain. I'm sorry I
Oh,
missed
okay.
Yeah.
that.
Very good. Okay, so under new business, we have IWW's the application of Wesley J. Wentworth of Wentworth Civil Engineers for a new home at 45 Sleepy Hollow Road. Do you want to fill us in on that, Savannah?
Yeah, so there was an existing house on this property. It was like one of those old style lake cottages. They came forward for a demo permit and they demoed that, I want to say it was January, February. So we were expecting this to come in, this new home application. There are no on-site wetlands. Obviously, it's within 200 feet of the lake. So that's the biggest priority and concern here. Isabel and I had met them out on site before the demo. So this was back in the winter, I guess. And, they're willing to leave a few trees. There's some big trees towards the shoreline that they'll leave up and things like that. But I don't see any issues with the application. It looks good to me.
Okay, very good. I did go through the nutrient allocation numbers and they checked out perfectly. So that's
Yeah,
good.
I
The only
actually haven't
thing
even done that with
I
them
had-
yet.
The only thing I had a question on was there was some simulated simulated woods, and I was just wondering what type of vegetation or trees that they were going to put in that. Mr.
Yeah,
Worth might have the answer to that.
that's a
Okay.
great question.
Well, we can't hear you.
Oh, I think you're muted.
You're muted, I think.
It's unmuted on my end.
Doesn't say muted.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, it don't.
Les, is your sound up? Oh,
Volume?
Hmm. We
I-
can't hear you,
We can't
Mr.
hear you, Wes.
Wentworth.
I wonder if Bob Davis is on, if he's not muted and can answer
is
that. He's
muted.
the owner.
He is muted.
Oh, he's muted. Okay. Can we
Now
unmute
he's not.
him?
Now he's not.
Can you
Hi,
hear
Bob.
me now? Hi, hey
Yeah.
guys.
Hey, Bob.
Hi, hey everybody. Hi Mary. Thanks for your time. So Wes is, I know he's here, he's just muted.
Apparently.
He's unmuted on my end. I don't know if he has a speaker issue on his end, but
How about volume?
yeah, it's all the way up.
Maybe you forgot to turn the speaker on. I do that sometimes.
I'm not sure.
He's calling.
Oh, perfect.
Hmm.
Can you hear us, Wes? Oh, wait. Can you hear us? Oh, it keeps.
How about now?
Yes,
Ah!
we can hear you.
Hi.
We got you.
Awesome.
All right. Let me just turn this volume down. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on, but
Oh, okay.
so you had a question on the nutrient allocation coverage. That's proposed landscaping areas, the simulated woods.
Yes, yes.
More than likely, we would use, native species of types of plants. We don't have a specific landscaping plan at this point. We can work that out later at building permit schedule, or if you're interested in knowing more information, we could try to get that for you now.
Okay, maybe Savannah can help you pick out something too.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
We could work with you on that. That would be great. Okay.
Yeah, it's it's kind of down the road thinking once we get through building construction's well underway. It's probably at that point we'd start picking things out if that's acceptable to the commission. It's how we,
Mhm.
but we definitely work with staff on that if that's okay.
Okay, very good. So, does anybody have any more discussion on that project? If not, do I hear a motion to approve the application?
Motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll
second
second.
on it?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have a summary ruling on it?
I do not. I thought there would be a site walk scheduled
Oh.
prior. Maybe I misunderstood kind of the the run of
Oh, okay.
things. Do you typically accept an application and then site walk, and then at the next hearing you approve it?
Yeah.
Well, how's it
Yeah.
go?
We
You
have
tell me.
not received this, right?
It's a good
This
point.
is our first time seeing it. Yeah.
If it's required, we could do that. All right.
So we need
Okay,
a site visit.
at the end of this meeting, we'll set a site walk then, if you'd like to do that. I take walks down that area all the time, so I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen
Fair.
it too, John.
That's my
I was
daily
going to say-
walking area.
Elmac already approved a fair amount of work done on their dock and their lake wall, which they've done a beautiful job. And
Great.
so I'm very familiar with that
Okay.
particular property.
You can receive it without a site walk. That's totally up to you.
Oh, we can receive it for
You can
sure.
receive it
right?
We
without
can
one.
accept it.
Already
Yeah.
received it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to accept.
Yep. Okay. All in favor, raise
Yeah.
your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Accept the application. Okay, so we'll set up a site walk for it next time. Tonight, I mean, at the end of our meeting here. Okay, then the next item is IWWC 2526-04, the application of Brian Goodrow to Philip Pond at 29 Chewanik Road.
Hmm.
Uh, So that we have to receive that application. Do I hear a motion to receive that? Okay, Mary, second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, John, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion made to receive the application.
Where's the-
Do you think we should site walk on that, keep that on a site walk also?
I do think so. There's a, so this application is to fill in an existing man-made pond.
Yeah,
I did inspect it about a month, maybe a little over a month ago to see if it had vernal pool potential. I don't see indicators to myself, but I think it'd be good for the commission to get eyes on it, so.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for him filling that in? Do you know?
He's on the call
He's
if you'd
on.
like to talk to
Yeah,
him
hi,
direct.
hi, folks. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay, yep. Hi, everyone. This is Brian. We actually have an agent approval already in place to construct a new single family home on this property.
Oh,
What
okay.
we're looking to do basically is just for the safety of the future occupants of this home, and just to create a little bit more aesthetically pleasing lot for them, fill in the pond and grade it nicely to grade and just make it a little bit safer and less mosquito-y area for the folks there.
Okay, thank you. That's good reason for it, I guess.
Understood.
Okay. So we'll set up a site walk to go to that, like I said. Okay, let's see. Now we have to go back under old business, the application, let's see, 7172. Okay, the IWWC 2425-09. This is the application of Monica Majeski and David Fusco for the installation of a dock at 144 Route 87, and that's where we had the site walk this month, and we finished that up, and we will have Savannah give us a background on that area.
Yeah, so this has been kind of modified a couple times. The shape of the dock is now a T shape. It conforms to LMAX standards of, I believe it's 100 square feet. Mary, is that correct?
Correct.
And it meets the 25-foot setback from each adjacent property. So
Correct.
it is currently a conforming dock. Our site visit confirmed that, and I think it was like 32 feet away from the closest property.
Yep.
I'm not sure, did LMAC talk about it, Mary, at the last meeting?
LMAC did approve that they moved it, that it is within the guidelines that the town of Columbia has set.
Great. Okay, good. So do
Mary-
we have a summary ruling on that?
Yes,
Be-
we do.
before we do that, could I just remind
ahead.
us that she asked the question about building another dock. Is there a limit on how many you can have?
Correct. She has 137 square lakefront footage, and anything over 100 is allowed only 2 docks. She has a primary dock that's concrete. They are claiming that it is not usable. We suggested that she get some engineers out and re-engineer it, or they'd have to destroy and remove that one to put a second dock in. They are only allowed 2 docks.
Well, I think she was talking, however, about attaching another dock to the concrete one. She showed us the dock
Yeah,
that
she
she
has like
wanted
a
to put
ramp.
in,
There's
right?
a ramp that goes into the lake, and she
Yeah.
wants to use one of her old floating docks in there. I don't think it's
We
feasible just
didn't
because she has
approve of it, so.
No can
No, we
do.
didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That concrete dock is grandfathered. It's well over 100 square feet,
Mhm.
and there's no way they'll be able to have an addition to that dock.
Okay.
Why
very
would
good.
they want that? What?
I don't
She
know.
has it. She has the floating materials. She wants to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that nice? We all have nice needs, but I mean, nice things, but no, that's not going to be allowed.
Yeah. She
Okay,
was just
so-
asking.
Very
Thank
good.
you. No, I appreciate that. You know, we created these town guidelines and have rewritten them several times since the 1970s. They were rewritten in 2018, and there are always questions.
Mm. Okay. So, do you want to read the summary ruling?
Yeah, so I'll start at 8, where we talk about specifics. So, special consideration is to be given to the Columbia Lake, which is designated under section 1.6 of Columbia's wetland regulations as an area of special concern. No heavy machinery shall be used on the lake bed. Stone and lumber can be stored on a plywood tarp placed on the lake bed. Maintenance practices necessary to ensure proper functioning of erosion and sediment controls will be employed, including routine monitoring and removal of sediment and repairs if necessary. Controls to be monitored prior to forecasted rain events and after rain events of 3/4 inch or greater. All work shall be completed during lake drawdown between October 15th and March 15th in an even numbered year, or November 15th and March 15th in an odd number year. The applicants, Monica Majeski and David Fusco, are assigned the responsibility for implementing the erosion and sediment control plan. This responsibility includes the installation and maintenance of control measures, informing all parties engaged on the construction site of the requirements and objectives of the plan, notifying the Inland Wetlands Commission office of any transfer of this responsibility, and conveying a copy of the erosion and sediment control plan if the title of the land is transferred.
Okay.
So I'm a little confused. This is already a done deal. This was in violation of not only wetlands, but LMAC, not once, but twice. Because first the dock was too large, and then the dock was not within compliance with the abutting property of 25 feet. So what are
Yes.
we voting on here?
We're voting on a summary ruling that we approve the,
It's now okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to keep it like on record that this dock location and it's like how it's specifically set is okay. I know this stuff is just like it's already been done already, right? But we have to have it
Correct.
on the record. I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, Mary.
Okay, so we have no enforcement opportunity when someone does not apply for permits and obviously just went out and did this?
My general understanding is that if they're willing to make the changes to conform to the regulations, we're not gonna push
Okay,
fines or
okay,
fees or anything. If that's how the
okay.
commission feels. I mean, if there's a need to push fees, certainly it's up to you guys. You bring it up. I think we have some recourse there under the wetlands regulations, so you can let me know.
Okay, all right, just asking. Thank you.
Mhm.
so we need a motion to accept the summary ruling. Would somebody gonna make
I'll
that?
make that motion.
Thank you, Ron. And second?
I'll
Got a second on that? John, okay?
Yeah.
All in favor, raise your hand. So moved. Very good.
Opposed?
Oh, you're opposed, Mary?
Thank
Okay.
you. Just want to go on record.
All right.
Mary, are you thinking of the penalty that is not in place or what? Because now
Yeah, in my heart of hearts, LMAC has discussed this often because this has been over a year that this was put into place without any permitting. And now it's okay. LMAC and wetlands will bless this. But frankly, I just think that if someone does something without a permit, there seems to be no enforcement or penalty for that. And so I'm not comfortable with that.
Hmm.
I think we should be in a position to discuss this going forward.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe establish penalties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think wetlands,
especially
as I,
when a violation is found like this.
yeah, as I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, IWWC or a wetlands agent can be an enforcement or have the ability to enforce by Connecticut state law, if not by town of Columbia. Whereas LMAC has absolutely no enforcement at all.
right.
We advise the Board of Selectmen who can enforce, And the Board of Selectmen did send a letter to these people telling them to cease and desist. And instead they went and redid the dock again. And now she's got these two floating docks hanging in. I will advise LMAC to send a letter saying that they can't do anything else and they are not allowed two docks since she's asked the question.
Definitely.
I think that's reasonable.
Okay, yeah, why don't we do that then?
But
And
Savannah,
perhaps wetlands should do that.
Savannah, do you want to be down the road, do you want to
Yeah.
be the enforcer?
I'm already the enforcer in
I
zoning,
know,
so
I
you know
know.
what?
It falls in your lap.
Yeah, I mean, I think under certain circumstances, and that's totally the discretion of the commission.
Yeah.
Under what those circumstances are, that's not for me to say.
Sure.
But I do think the ability is there if that's the way you want to go. And
Well, I
there's
think
certainly maybe cases where people are, maybe pushing the limits a little too far, so.
I agree with Mary that the word violation should carry some penalty of some sort. I
Sure.
don't,
Yeah.
we should discuss it. In this particular case, only the fact that it existed for a year is what bothers me.
Mhm.
They eventually did what we want them to do,
Right,
Mhm.
without a lot of fight. So
Mhm.
this one I
Mhm.
think is relatively simple, but they're not all going to be simple.
yeah.
And we've had
I think you need to
years
set the
ago we had some fights.
Oh, yeah. And I think you need to set the precedent that there are consequences.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
Well, why don't we have Savannah take a look and see what consequences
Other towns.
other
Yeah.
towns do, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, this
For the
is, this is
future.
a larger
Yeah.
discussion.
just to gain some insight.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I can do that. No
Yeah,
problem.
okay,
that would be helpful.
yeah, that would be helpful.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so we'll do that. Next application is IWWC 2425-14, the application of the USS Vineyard LLC for site improvements
Ah.
associated with the construction of a ground-mounted solar array at 468 Route 87. We received the application on 4/7/25 and a site walk was done on 4/14/25. And it was tabled twice, once on 5/5/25 and the other time at 6/2/25. Um, so the applicant has provided updated plans, and I believe what they suggest, I think there was a problem with burying the cables.
Correct.
Mr. Kaspler, do you want to tell us what you're doing
Yeah,
on that situation?
thanks, John. And yeah, rest assured, backing up to the previous conversation, we are not moving forward with construction without any permits, but that's kind of neither here nor there. So
Thank you.
yeah, I appreciate your time tonight. So what we have essentially redesigned is we're abandoning the burying of the line approach in order to abide by NEC code. So essentially what we've done is adjusted to a two-pole overhead span. And I don't know, did everyone receive the PDF
Yes.
design?
I'm gonna look at
Okay,
it.
so
Wait.
I don't know if everyone has that up. I can share my screen. I don't know if Savannah wants to share hers, but
If you have it up readily, go ahead and share.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
like to see it.
sure. Let's see here.
Maybe Mary Kay can get it. The
Oh, there we go.
Does that work?
Yep,
There it
we
is.
got you.
All right, so
Yeah.
essentially, again, we're abandoning burying the line. So the two poles are indicated by these two blue dots, and then we're just going to simply span the overhead medium voltage line over the culvert. And then it'll be back trenched adjacent to the access road and then simply just kind of run up to the array. So pretty simple design. We wanted this meeting to kind of be collaborative to see what we would need from the commission's point of view in order to deem this acceptable. You know, if this looks good, great. If not, we'd love your feedback to see, you know, what we can do in order to attain approval. So I guess I'll just open up to questions and any comments.
Okay, we have any discussion on that?
I wish Ian were here, but
Yeah,
I think this is a great solution to his objection of crossing
yes,
the roadway. I'm not going to speak for him, but it
No.
sure sounds good to me.
Yeah.
yeah,
Occur,
like it too.
agree.
yeah. Okay,
May I ask one question, if that's okay?
sure.
Will the pole placements be outside wetland? Is that what the blue hatch is indicating?
Yes, they'd be outside of the wetland.
Okay,
Hmm.
great.
And it's gonna be high enough where if you get a big truck go.
Yes,
So
yeah,
we'll push
we
them
won't
down.
have any trucks running into
Okay.
it.
Well, I don't know. You never know. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway,
Fair.
so that's great. Okay, so is there anything
Good.
else in this application that we have to worry about? Because I think that was a major problem. Okay, why don't we, do we have a summary ruling for that by any chance, Savannah?
Yes, we do. I think I had been told that you guys wanted to formally redesign the two poles and then come back for final ruling. Is that correct,
Oh,
Dan? Or are you, where
Yeah,
are you at
I
in
mean,
the
if
process?
we were gonna formally design it, but we don't really expect much beyond what was just proposed. So I mean, if that looks good, that's going to be the design, right? So
Well,
Mhm.
Dan, you've heard the comment about the poles being out of the wetlands
mhm.
Mm.
and a sufficient height for truck traffic.
Yep.
If that's the case, then I think I'll let you design
Okay.
With those parameters.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
and then we can
So-
approve the project next meeting. Would that be okay, Dan?
Fine by me.
Okay, let's do it then.
That's all the concerns. Just want
That's
to
all I remember.
Ian's,
That's all we
like I said, he
recall.
was about
Okay.
civil engineering,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
I
Very
think I
good.
remember reading that Ian just wanted to have the formal site plans written up before
Yeah.
approval.
Okay.
So I think as long as we have that, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, very good.
You're here.
Thank you, Dan.
Great. Well, we'll get rolling on this and then see you in August.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, that was item 8.2, so let's go to 9, audience of citizens. Anybody want to say anything that's sitting in the audience? I think we lost oh no, we got one person still in the audience.
Yeah. Isn't
Who's that?
Patrick Ward, is there anything he wants to say?
Oh,
We
No.
won't hear him if he does. He's
Okay,
muted.
Do you need to table that previous one again, since you're gonna go to August? Or no?
which is
Yeah,
this?
he expects
yeah,
to.
August,
The solar one, do you need to table it again?
yeah.
Or-
Table it until August.
Okay.
And John, what was that for? They're gone now, so it doesn't really matter. But why
Oh,
couldn't-
yeah, he's gone.
are
That
you?
was-
And
gonna ask
did
for an
Ian
audience.
communicate with you, Savannah?
What's
Have
that?
we heard? Have we heard from Ian about this?
No, I just remember I was reading through the minutes from some of the older
Yeah.
meetings and he wanted documentation, so I figured we'd make sure
He
we
said
had
that's
that.
a good idea. And they were cool with it, so that's
You're
that.
here. Let's get it. Good.
They got the money, so it's okay.
Okay. Any open discussion by the commission? All right, item 10.1, Sunny Slopes Road was a violation, and maybe Savannah could
Yeah.
update us on that. What happened?
Yeah, I had a site visit at Four Sunny Slopes and we discussed what had happened. So basically portions of the seawall were removed and there was some speculation that potentially the owner had brought some sand onto the property to make a beach, which it didn't look like he had. So I was able to at least rule that out. But he had moved the seawall out, which would require obviously permitting to do because he's modifying the seawall. So I told him he needed to apply with LMAC and with us. I have not received anything. I included
Nor have
him.
we.
eh, I included him on kind of our pilot program for the pondweed removal. And I emailed him several times and haven't heard back. So my kind of next step would be to issue an enforcement order because my last action was a violation. The enforcement requires him to attend a meeting and it's a little more formal. So if you're okay with that, that's what I will go to next.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. I will
You're
do
here.
that.
You're here.
Okay, very good.
Gotcha.
Okay, and item number 11 is all of your administrative reports,
So
Savannah.
many. Yeah. I know. I won't take too long on them. Some of them are really simple, but let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, give me one sec. Get the right window. Okay, which one's first? We have the Kia dealership, right?
What do we got here?
Sorry, it's hard to see with all these screens. Okay. Okay, so the Kia dealership was approved. I don't know when that approval was done by Isabel for administrative approval. It must have been months ago. And the building permit came through and I noticed that they had not included this 200-foot area of review. They're near a named brook that requires that, Clark's Brook. So without that being on the plan, you can see that like a greater portion of the work was going to be in the 200-foot area. It doesn't show the building on this screen, unfortunately, but you
What
can see
address
that.
is this? What
This
address
is the
is this?
Kia dealership.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that
Thank
better
you.
known as the Ford? Is that Columbia Ford?
Yeah.
Columbia
No.
Ford Kia.
364 is the
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's
So
not-
there was a
If you'd
prior
said
admin
Ford, I got it.
approval. I wanted to redo it because the plan didn't have all our regulatory areas on it. And it didn't outline that they want to actually trench for a new well line within the upland review area. There were just a couple things missed on the approval, so I wanted to get those in there. You know, it's not a great amount of work, just for the record. Wanted to update it with a revised approval so that this is in the documents. So
Good deal.
this is the revised one. And then, John, what's our next item? You guys don't have any questions on that one.
the item is the application of Kevin Katubi, Coughlin Service Corporation for alteration of an existing structure to add a two-story
Oh,
living
yes.
space and existing foundation at 31 Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah,
Where's
we
this?
had discussed this one. This one is not outside the footprint at all. So that's why it was an administrative approval. He's basically just taking down the house to the first floor and then rebuilding up.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Any questions on that one?
Oh,
Nope, he's doing it.
okay, next one, 11.3 is IWWC 2425-20. Application of Russell Phillips for a 20-foot by 8-foot storage container at 398 Route 87.
Yep. So that's this one. He's near Giffords Brook. You can see it outlined back here. He's probably about 50, 60 feet away with his storage container. The area was prior gravelled. He used it as kind of like, I think he parked trucks there. And it's been kind of a maintained long gravel area for a while, it looks like. His storage container, I think it's like 20 by 40 or something around there.
Yeah, 20 by 8, it says here.
20 by 80, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, 20 by
Oh.
8 storage container.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
They-
Yeah, so it was approved by zoning. There's nothing, he met the setbacks and he tried to move it behind some other features on his lot, so it wasn't as obvious. And then Isabel had told him it would be an administrative approval and I agreed. So that's that right there. If you have any questions, let me know, but I figured there's no tree cutting, no veg removal, nothing like that, so.
Okay, next item, 11.4, IWWC 2425-21, the application of Brian Goodrue for a new single-family home at 29 Chewanick Road.
Ah,
Yep. And this
Good.
was one that, again, Isabel had said admin approval. I might have brought this to you guys, but I wanted to stay with what he had been told prior. So this is the proposed house. This is the pond that he has now filed a full application to fill. Because I did not think that met an admin approval at all. And so the house he's been approved for, but he needs to leave the pond as is. Any
Oh, wait.
questions?
Say that again. Isn't he
Well-
asking to fill in the pond?
He is under a separate application. He
Oh.
was really eager to get started, I think. And so this was a way that he could start working on the house. And, you know, if he has to keep the pond, he keeps the pond. But ideally, he wants to fill it in. So
Got
I
it.
said you could apply for like a full commission approval for that.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Yep, 11.5, 11.6, 11.7, 11.8, 11.9,
Etc.
and 11.10 are all oh, wait a minute. No, up to 11.9 are all programs to remove pondweed at different locations along the Columbia Lake area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been, well, I think it's a lot of excitement from the people who are participating in this program, which is great to see people happy. I went out to every single property. It was interesting to see all the similarities, like the pondweed is really much further out than I realized because I think Lake Drawdown really kills it off near the edge of the shore. So I think it's a cool pilot study. I think we're going to learn something, maybe what removal methods are effective and if it's too much. And yeah, Mary can probably speak more to it. This was her brain idea. And I mean, I think it's great though. I'm glad it's working and everyone's very happy to move forward with it. So
Yeah, let the people themselves take care of it. I mean, that's
Mhm.
good, I think.
Well, yeah, yes and no. I
Well,
think with
some
with
respect.
with some guidelines.
Yeah.
Just so the commission is aware of, and LMAC has studied this for almost well, we're going on a year. These are native plants. They are composed about 30 acres of a 280 acre lake, which is about 11%. That is well within the guidelines that Connecticut Deep and or our consultants who are lake consultants would say is okay for plant growth. If it were to exceed 25%, then we're going to have some hiccups and some issues. This particular weed is we're learning about it in Savannah. This will be fun, to learn about it. I went around the entire lake Monday and the clarity is unbelievable of our water to see this plants. There are 142 docks on this lake, and there are as many docks on this lake that don't have the weed that do have the weed. I'm not sure how they start growing or where they start growing. It could be from 3 feet to 12 feet depth. It's a submerged underwater plant that almost comes to the tip of the water. We have to be very careful because it's native. The aquatic life is all around. I counted 25 or more little sunfish going through them on a dock about 4 feet of water. So they're using it obviously for their vegetation and their feeding. So we do have to be careful and allow for those who perceive it as a nuisance. There are some of us who don't see it as a nuisance, but see it as part of living on a lake, to allow them to rake, but rake carefully. And Savannah, I sent you an email today. I have a source that I can update you on who has done this several times in upstate New York and just gave you some thoughts and suggestions as to how to do it, particularly in deep water by the town beach.
Yeah, great. I saw that. And it's funny because several people that I talked to are using some of those methods. One person's hand
Good.
pulling, like diving down. One person's using the kind of slicing rake that you were talking about that cuts off the top of the plant. So
Yeah,
we're going to have kind of a neat little scientific research project here to see which one's more
yes.
effective or what might cause spread or limit spread. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
There are
Well,
other methods, there are other methods that we reviewed to use and the town and or LMAC chose not to. Benthic blanket is one
Mhm.
where you literally put a blanket on the bottom of the lake. But the problem with that is it kills all vegetation, not just the pondweed. And it's very, very difficult to manage. It's temporary. The plants will all grow back, so we have to be careful. My only caution or warning is, and we already have one person who self-admitted they raked, is when you do this, because if you rake beyond, I will say, the May, June, mid-July timeframe, and it really should be May, June, you are spreading seeds and you are going to you're going to almost double the growth. And this particular person may be seeing that right now.
Wow.
Believe
So
that.
we've got to be educating people that we don't want everybody going out doing this. There should be guidelines and there should be permits. And I thank Savannah for taking on the project.
Absolutely.
Thank
Okay,
you.
very good. Yep. Okay, and finally, item 11-10 is the application of Rana, I guess that's Rich Rana, Excavation LLC to install a new 4-bedroom septic system at 206 Route 87.
Yeah, it's a replacement of the existing system in the same location. The erosion controls, I've been specifying, I wanted to bring this up, compost filter stock staked, particularly in the lake area. I just feel like silt fence, like new research has shown that the trenching with silt fence can cause some sedimentation. And we want to avoid that as much as possible. So that is what I required for this work is compost filter stocks staked into the ground. And if you haven't seen that before, it's just a new erosion control method that seems to be more effective in these areas. So,
Okay.
but yeah, the work is replacement, but it's going to be bigger because I think they added a bedroom or something like that.
So my question is, Savannah, obviously there must be a permit or an approval process from Eastern Highlands
There is.
first.
Yep. They already
Okay.
got their approval
And
from
then we
Eastern
come in.
Highlands.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
exactly.
you.
So
All
Glenn
right.
kind of passed them over to us when they were done
Okay.
approving
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, that's the final thing on our agenda here. So I need a motion to adjourn.
Happy to.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
I'll
And
second it.
Juan is seconding it. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, have a
Good to
good
see
one.
y'all. Thanks,
Yep.
everybody.
Good night,
Oh,
everybody.
Wait a minute.
oh,
Oh,
wait a
we
minute.
gotta
Oh,
make
sidewalk.
Oh,
Andy
sidewalk,
Site
sidewalk.
visits.
sidewalk. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
What?
I can't make it next week, but what
Oh.
about the
Hey.
14th or 15th? Oh, wait a minute. 15th, I got a 1 o'clock appointment.
Uh, where are we? July.
Yeah, July. How about July 14th on a Monday at 4 o'clock?
That works for me.
Is
Sounds
that okay?
good to me.
Yeah, good with me.
July 14th, 4 o'clock, I can do.
I can do that too.
Okay, great. I can do it. Okay,
is
very
this-
good. So,
This 2 site visits?
yes, just 2.
Okay.
And
Where do
Mary,
we want to start?
uh, something out to inform everybody that we are having
Okay.
these site walks, okay? Thank you
And-
very much, and have a good,
Oh,
Did you,
start.
did we decide where?
You
Yeah,
wanna
you
start
wanna-
at four,
we got
45
2.
or
Yeah, we got 2.
Tuonic, Tuonic and what?
45
45
Sleepy
Sleepy
Hollow.
Hollow?
How about that pond to fill in?
That's
Or
the one.
Tawannik, yeah.
So start with Chewanik and go
Yeah.
to
That-
either
that's the-
or.
That's the serious one.
Okay,
All right.
very good.
Oh,
All right.
Thank you,
We'll
John.
see you all
Thank
then.
you all.
Being
Mary
on
Kay,
there.
thank you.
You.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
Hey, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.